right, go ahead and tell me anything that you wish me to know before I sentence Mr. Wright.
Okay. I would like to say that it's strongly impacted the way I live my life every day now. I feel like I can't walk alone at night or anywhere alone without feeling like someone's gonna do something to me. It hurt my mental health badly, and I did hurt myself because of it. And during that, I hurt the people around me as well. And I can't bring myself to walk alone anywhere. And the way I see people before isn't the same way I see them now. Like, I can't hang out with like my guy friends anymore by myself. I don't even trust hanging out with my girlfriends by myself anymore. I don't really trust older family members anymore because of it. And I think he deserves the maximum amount he can get because he is a grown man and I was 15 and he knew better than what he did.
Thank you.
I'm Jessica Burville, her mother. This was really bad, really bad. We spent sleepless nights with that. She'd hurt herself, she cut herself, she tried to commit suicide, she was stealing alcohol. I mean, I didn't even know what to do. It was so bad. I didn't even want to leave her bedside. It was that bad. I made her sleep on the couch so I could hear if she moved to make sure that anytime she needed me, I was there. So I just wanted to make sure that nothing will ever happen to her again. I can't really prevent it, but I will try my hardest to be there for her in anything or something like this. It's not the first time it's happened to her, and it's bad that it happened again. And not by the same person, but it sucks to have to deal with this all over again with her.
Mr. Gerber, any further argument on what you
No further.
Mr. Gerber, any further argument?
Your Honor, I think that the testimony of the victim establishes that there was psychological harm.
I agree. The victim described how it's impacted her life since the offense. In fact, some self-harm and affecting her relationships with other people, including friends, and broken trust and fearful. So I'll leave OB4 scored at 10 points. Now, in terms of OB8, it is scored at 15 points for exploitation, and the defense objects that there's insufficient evidence of that. It should be scored at 0. Ms. Goodrich, your response?
Your Honor, the defendant was driving his vehicle with the victim in it at the time of the sexual assault. They were in the vehicle. I believe that the victim had talked about in the agent's description of the offense how the defendant talked to her about a gun. When she was with him previously, she had seen that he had a gun that was tan in color. And while this time didn't actually see the gun, he was alluding to it, which made her afraid during this and caused some of the fear and delay in reporting later.
I would leave the score at 15 points. Not really because of the gun or the fear of that, but under that offense variable, you score 15 points if a victim was escorted to another place of greater danger or to a situation of greater danger or held captive beyond the time necessary to commit the offense. The held captive beyond the time necessary to commit the offense is a closer call. He does say we're not leaving until something happens, but the something is really the assault. But I do think, even though she left the house to go hang out with him, she didn't ask to go down to a dead-end road at 11 p.m. at night and be isolated by this defendant. And so I think that is a place of greater danger for the defendant to bring a minor child to a dead-end road at night where he can commit a crime against that person. So I'll leave OB8 scored at 15 points.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Goodrich, do you have any scoring challenges?
No, Your Honor.
The court has one. OB10, exploitation of a vulnerable victim, was scored at 10 points for the offender exploiting a victim's physical disability, mental disability, or youth. I think certainly there's grounds for that and nobody's objected, but I wonder whether it should instead be scored at 15 points for predatory conduct based upon the fact that the there was some pre-offense conduct here in that this defendant purchased vapes for this that she was not on previous occasions. So he's sort of establishing himself as someone that will provide things for her, and he's manipulating her in that fashion. So I want to hear from both counsel on whether that constitutes predatory conduct as pre-offense conduct directed at a victim for the primary purpose of victimization. Mr. Gilbert?
Well, my position on that would be, Your Honor, that the vapes and the purchase thereof were done independently, and it wasn't. I don't think there is any direct correlation to her then joining up with him and this incident happening. Again, I believe that 10 points should be scored here because of the youth. However, I don't know. I've been reading through it. I did not think that purchasing of that was predatory or grooming or that type thing. As just because he was doing it as a friend would do it or that type of thing, even though she was underage and couldn't do it herself.
Oh, Your Honor, I believe that does meet the definition of the predatory conduct pursuant to MCL 777.403A, the pre-offense conduct as the court described. For the primary purpose of victimization, he did this while luring her to the car. And so I believe that does qualify.
All right, I do think that that's sufficient evidence of pre-offense conduct where he's gaining her trust, he's providing her stuff that she can't otherwise obtain on her own, he's befriending her on social media, he's obtaining vapes for her. You know, he's an adult, providing a minor with things that they're not allowed to have, and then, you know, he's leveraging that relationship to end up isolating her and sexually assault her. So I'm going to score OB10 at 15 points. It doesn't change the ultimate guideline score, but it does increase the OV to 70 points, still OV level 5, and a guideline range of 5 to 23. Mr. Gilbert, anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, and not to minimize at all what had happened or what the victim has gone through, I would like the court to take into consideration. I did ask for forensic in this case because, and none of that has changed with my interviews of Mr. Wright. I told him I was going to say this because it's true, he's very slow and has a very hard time processing things. And after I had to explain the whole procedure, even as this case developed over and over again, and be asked the same question over and over again, it's pretty obvious that cognitively, he's not where he should be. I do believe that probably played a major role in this case, in not understanding the consequences of what was happening or how severe the conduct was. So I do ask the court to take that into consideration. And as I said, it's obvious that I've been thinking about that from the beginning due to my request for the forensic. Even though he passed, that there was issues, and I think these issues existed and are part of the reason we're here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. It's not required that you would make a statement, but it is allowed. Is there anything you wish to say or no?
Yes, I would like to formally apologize to the courts, to the victim, her family. I'm sorry that I did that. It was wrong. And upon getting released, whether it's from here or whether I go to prison, I'm looking for guidance and seeking help. And I'll be on.
All right, thank you. Ms. Goodrich, any recommendations from the people?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. We've discussed what occurred in this case. The defendant is 21 years old with no criminal history. He is unemployed with a high school degree. The recommendation is 23 months to 10 years with credit for 347 days. We did have a sentencing agreement to county jail cap thinking 5-year probation due to the defendant's young age, and that the no contact would continue for those 5 years to assist the victim in feeling safe. However,
Thank you. Well, Mr. Wright, you're here for sentencing on assault with intent to commit penetration. It's a reduced charge from the charge of conduct in the 3rd degree. You confessed to the police before you even entered a plea here. You confessed to the police that you had with this underage victim. So your guilt on the CSC 3rd is pretty evident. And the victim describes further, although you didn't confess to this part, that this was a forcible rape and under the threat or perceived threat of a gun that you had in the car, and she was fearful. Of course, I'm going to sentence you to prison. So it would be my intention to sentence you on the upper end of these guidelines to 23 months in prison to 10 years. That's the most I can do under the guidelines. I don't see a reason to exceed those, and give you credit for 347 days previously served.